And we're live. Okay, welcome to our lifestyle lecture tonight. Okay, some top tips here about how do hormones affect our weight and our fat storage in our bodies. Grab yourself a drink of water. This is about a 10-15 minute chat. We're going to be talking about some hormones in our body. So have a drink and let me tell you some stuff. And hopefully this makes some sense to you guys. So how do hormones affect our weight loss and our fat storage? We have 5 hormones we're going to talk about tonight. We've got ghrelin, we've got some leptin, we've got something called cholecalcitonnin. So I'll try and say that. It's CCK, cholecalcitonnin. To go with that one, which is spelt CHOLESTOKININ. Okay, so CCK, which we'll call it that from now on, because otherwise that gets a bit monotonous of me trying to spill my words over that one. We're going to talk about a bit of estrogen, and we're going to talk about some testosterone as well. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So thank you so much for joining me, and let's work it through. So starting from the top. When we started trying to lose weight, it's a big journey for quite a lot of people. And so here we're going to work through why can you stop thinking about food and why should you always continue to feel hungry? So hunger is a natural response by humans. If we didn't have it, we would eventually die because we don't get enough nutrients into our body. We don't get enough carbohydrates, don't get enough energy. And therefore, without that, we just don't survive. Okay, so it's a natural instinctive response to feel hungry. Okay, the quality of the food that you put into your diet is number one. You need to try and get wholesome food into your body. So this is natural to human bodies. We release a hormone called ghrelin. Ghrelin is the gremlin. That's how I want you to think of it. It's a hormone that's made in your stomach, and its job is to make sure that you've got the right amount of energy on tap. Now, the better the quality of food that you eat and the better the nutrient you put into your body, the ghrelin job will be reduced. Okay, that's the science behind it. So ghrelin kicks in a hunger signal from your gut, and it fires it up to your brain to tell you that you need to start thinking about eating again. So the trouble is that ghrelin doesn't just rise up within your belly, but it also it spikes and it drops throughout the day. Now, as you eat and you're filling up, and if you get the right satiety of the nutrients into your body, then you start releasing our friend, which is our second hormone we're going to talk about tonight, which is leptin. And leptin is the one that makes you feel full. It's produced in our fat cells, and its mission is to try and give energy preservation. Your body, if we go back thousands of years, you don't have food on tap. Okay, food wasn't available all the time. Food is now available 24/7. Delivery and all these other services can provide food right to your door at any given moment. You can also go to 24-hour supermarkets. You've got food available all the time. If you think back even as far as maybe 30, 40 years ago, you know, a fridge, freezer, that type of thing was just starting to come in. But if you go back maybe 60, 70 years ago, the food that went into your larder was the food that was going to sustain you. And so therefore it spoiled quite quickly. So we have ways of preserving food and sustaining food for a lot longer periods of time. So food is readily available to us. We've got it on tap pretty much all the time. So overeating is quite easy to do because the food is there and your body is going to say, we're used to being starved as human beings. So, and hunger will always ensue as a result. So making sure that you eat the right quality of food is massively, massively important. If you have the right abundance of leptin, you will feel full. Okay, so we've got to try and counterbalance your ghrelin by increasing the amount of leptin into it. So eating the right quality of food is so important. Now, as we digest loads of food into our body, we're getting the nutrients into it. And our body loves things like protein because it gives us our amino acids. It loves fats because it breaks down to fatty acids that our body can then preserve and make out of the good quality of nutrients. And it loves breaking down carbohydrates to be able to give us glucose. Our brain fires off glucose all the time. And for you to learn, develop, etc., glucose is really, really important. So then we come to that lovely hormone that I was struggling and stibbling my words over called CCK. Okay, it's produced in your small intestine, and it does a very important job. It reduces the rate at which food is emptied from your stomach. Okay, so its job, if you give it the right quality, it will either increase or reduce the amount of weight that food is released from your stomach. Really, really important. So if you're going through a starvation process, for example, and your CCK levels drop down so much, you're going to store body, you're going to make more use of all of that food, which is a great thing to happen. However, if you're trying to reduce the amount of sugars and carbohydrates and the way that your body stores things into your body, maybe the speed at which you can increase your CCK could be improved. And you do that by eating better quality food. So we're going to come on to that in a bit later. So metabolism in our lives changes. We all know that. We know that when we were younger and we were playing more sports because, you know, it's part of the national curriculum, you've got PE lessons, etc. You play, you're more active, you're running around with your friends, etc. They haven't got a care in the world. You haven't got as much stress as today. You don't have to worry about it. Your metabolism could be really, really high. You're also doing the important things of growing. You're going through puberty and all these changes as well. As we get older, of course, we reach our peak, and therefore our metabolism starts to ebb and then starts to drain off slightly. The key parts then is trying to influence your body to increase your calorie burn, or trying to maintain it as high as you once did. So as we get older as well, we've obviously got things like school runs to do as we look after children, or families to look after or to care for, etc. And we also have an abundance of things that keep us nice and secure at home, like nice warm houses. We've got TVs, we've got, you know, Netflix, various films available. Everything's on demand. You don't have to wait for things anymore. It's already there. Okay, so let's have a look back at our friend leptin. So in addition to that CCK helping you to eat less, leptin also keeps your thyroid in track as well, and therefore your metabolism in the best shape that it possibly can. So trying to release more leptin is really important. So how can you release more leptin? Our little friend. So when leptin drops after a weight loss, your metabolism also slows down as well. So you've got to remember this. As we've got less weight to carry around in the body, because there's less weight to carry around, you'll have less energy expenditure because your muscles don't need to be as strong to carry that weight. That's why when you're on a weight loss training program, that's why you need to do things like strength building exercises, body conditioning, legs, bums and tums, you know, the circuit training classes. All of these things are really, really important to maintain your metabolism, to help you maintain that weight and keep you, if you have lost weight and got to that slope, that maintaining that weight as well. So you can also release more leptin by increasing the amount of protein that goes into your diet. Protein is lovely, it's broken down to amino acids, and it's a key part because there's certain amino acids that we can't produce from ourselves. So we need to get them in by our diet. So always look at the quality of the food that you're eating, because if you're not getting enough of the protein and you're not getting enough of the nutrients that be able to break down those proteins, then unfortunately your body's going to keep you feeling hungry and it's going to make you want to eat more. So if it's a hankering for something that's going to be low in those or deficient in those macro and micronutrients, then you can expect that you're going to want to eat more of it as the body tries to crave and get that fulfillment. Remember that most of these hormones are built from within our body here, and they fire messages up to the brain to tell us what to do. So if you struggle with hunger pangs and things like that, or struggling with your diet or with the quality of your food, that's one thing to do, is improve your gut flora. Okay, so we've talked about metabolism changes, we've talked about leptin, etc. And as you're changing throughout your day, you have also different stresses that affect your body as well. So one key thing with like diets is it does put a lot of pressure on you as well. There's lots of good evidence about good diets and calorie deficit and calorie balances, etc. And but try not to stress yourself out too much with all these plans. And the reason behind it, and also measuring yourself all the time, if that's something else you're finding too stressful, perhaps maybe calm back down off it if that's what you need. Some people love to measure themselves all the time and have their spreadsheets and their graphs and stuff. And some people absolutely hate it. The key part is that you need to enjoy what you're doing. because anything that's going to bring a stressor into your life, you're going to release more adrenaline and more cortisol into your body. They're stress hormones, and they direct fat to your tummy. It's a key part. So I'll say that again, the cortisol and the adrenaline, when you're stressing your body up and things are just too much, you are going to direct fat to your tummy and around your vital organs to help preservation. Your body always wants to survive. So high cortisol releases as well. They also, the evidence is in there as well to say that they break down muscle, which again, if we're breaking down muscles, the muscles require less calories, less strength, etc. So your metabolism reduces again. So the key element here, or the key learning points here, are increase your strength training, increase, especially if you're on that journey of losing weight, and that's probably from January onwards, because let's face it, we've got Christmas coming up and lots of challenges coming up there. Okay, but make sure that you're keeping the strength of the muscles intact by eating the great food, hydrating well, lots of good quality nutrient, wholesome foods that haven't been tinkered with. These ultra processed foods, they're not great for us. Try and eat as much wholesome food as you can, stuff that's come out of the ground or stuff that's come from animals, etc., straight to your digestive system. So try and make them as best as possible. Okay, so when we lose that weight, of course, we can see a decrease in metabolism. So our basal metabolic rate can reduce as a result. Okay, so that's the amount of calories that you're burning at rest. So some hormones will improve over weight loss, and that's a good thing for our health as well. So when we're overweight as well, we can have too much of other hormones that aren't brilliant. And one of those is estrogen, okay? And losing weight may help you to reduce the amount of estrogen in your body, males and females as well. And the evidence behind that is having the correct level of estrogen, etc., can help protect us from various things like breast cancer or testicular cancer, those type of things. So having the right level there is really important. The other one is about testosterone, okay, which is all about testosterone's got loads of things. Obviously, it's increasing sex drive, etc., which can obviously improve sense of well-being, improve your sensitivity to insulin, and about how your body breaks down sugar into the body. The other thing you can do is reducing the risk, as a result, the risk of type 2 diabetes. So testosterone really, really important because it also looks at two key parts, which is muscle density and also bone density as well. So it's that driver to keep you going, keep moving it. So by losing weight, you can get that back in balance. You move better, you're more effective, you're more efficient. So yeah, really, really important to get those in going. So how do you get your hormones back into track, especially if you're on like a journey? And it could be actually to gain weight as well. And the hormones, and the best way of trying to get them in balance is plenty of hydration, plenty of the water, and having a really good balanced meal of proper wholesome foods. Okay, so reduce processed foods. Have a look at your diary for a week of what you eat. If you do eat quite a lot of processed stuff, sandwiches that have been pre-made at a shop, for example, try and make something healthy from home to take into work. Mediterranean diets are really good. They've got oily fish, wholesome foods in there. There's the DASH, DASH recipes, which are great. They are very rich in vegetables, fruits, and whole grains and legumes, etc. They're really good for us. Eating them they're naturally filling. They make you feel fuller for longer. They're going to release more leptin. They're going to reduce the amount of ghrelin, the better quality that you put into your body. The other thing as well is it's better for your digestive system as well. It makes it more efficient. So therefore you process the quality of the minerals and the macronutrients so much better. So it's really, really important. Okay, the other part to it is weight loss shouldn't be a boom, drop off a cliff as well. So if you're getting ready for January and you're like, I'm going to park on my buses at the moment and just get through Christmas and then get to January, please, whatever you choose to do, please try and go for sort of like the more wholesome food and Mediterranean approaches. Starving your body isn't a great thing to do. Having a massive weight loss straight away isn't a great thing to do. Things like time-restricted eating, fasting, process, etc., they're all really good. There's a lot of evidence behind it, looking at longer periods where you're not eating food, etc. But having the correct amount of calories, nutrient and macronutrients throughout your day, really important. So please do consult an expert before you go on to, I don't know, some slimming tea, coffee, something or other that's out there, the latest cabbage soup diet or something or other that's out there. Just be mindful that you are getting all, if you are doing those, make sure you're getting all the macros and micros with it as well. And the other thing I would definitely urge you to look at is making sure you've got it as part of a balanced training program as well, with correct exercises that are going to help increase that muscle dexterity and that strength. There's a phrase I heard the other day, which is strong is the new slim. And I love it. I think it's a really great phrase. Strong is the new slim. Apply it to what you're doing into your training as well. So weight loss shouldn't melt off. Probably losing between 1 and 2 pounds a week is a steady change as well. You've got to think that your body has got to catch up with your weight loss. Okay, if your body can't catch up with it, you're going to have a big drop off in one go. Now, maybe if that's part of a controlled diet with your GP and your dietitian, maybe that's going to be the best thing for you. But you've got to think as well that we come from evolution. Okay, so hundreds and thousands of years ago, we didn't have enough food, so we would, people would starve to death, and we can see malnutrition throughout the world. So let's think about, if you have a sudden weight loss, then your body will go into a shock, and it will want to eventually get to that plateau where it just keeps firing more ghrelin at you. Again, remember that gremlin. It's going to want you to fill up with food again, and it's going to make you hungry until you get the pounds back up. That kind of like almost that set point where your body is. You can lose weight progressively over time. Think of it as a long journey. You didn't get to the weight that you are if you're trying to lose weight overnight. It happened over a sustained period of time. You need to reverse that. So, increase the amount of exercise, increase the amount of quality of food. There's a reason why you gain the weight. It could be too much stress, could be too much cortisol, could be too much adrenaline. It could be imbalances in your hormones. It could be you need to see a GP. Okay, but guaranteed that exercise, movement, sleep, and water, those are your key four. Get those right and you'll make some big changes. But please try not to lose too much weight too quickly. If you are, consult your GP and keep yourself intact with it as well. So the weight's just not going to melt off when you come into starting that new trend. And the other thing I would say is it's not always about weight loss. It is about weight gain as well for some people. I've got quite a few clients that are trying to increase their weight. And again, it's about eating wholesome foods, trying to get the nutrients in, the macros and the micros up nice and high, get that protein up. Okay, so loads of information there, absolutely loads of information, just looking through our notes there. So coming back to it, we're looking at your ghrelin release. That's the gremlin that's going to make you hungry. We've got the leptin release, which is the bit that makes you feel full. I'm not even going to try and say it. It's called CCK. Have a look at it on the internet. The choline. Oh yeah, I'm going to have another go at it. Choline. No, forget it. And then we've got estrogen, and then we've got testosterone as well. Okay, cholecystokinin. That's not even right either. So CCK, anyway, have a look for it. And it's about how your body releases food from the stomach as well. So those are your key 5. Think about how you're feeling hungry and can you sustain it as well. Okay, good luck with it all. It is an absolute minefield out there. There is no wonder drug out there. Please don't be sucked in by the marketing and the materials out there. Calories in, calories out. Yes, calorie deficit will encourage you to lose weight. Of course it will. But strength training, keeping in moderation, keeping your training going, really important. We're here to help you, so get in contact if we can. I hope that was useful for you. And, if you've got a way of pronouncing that CC, get in contact with me. I'm sure you can find a way. Anyway, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Right. Have we got any questions from the group? Let's go for it. Boom. And stop recording.
Recording stopped.
Joe, have you got any questions for us tonight?